Yes. Welcome to this wonderful call, Bhagya ma'am.
Thank you
Let's
so much.
start with this. It's a wonderful topic also. It's related to relationships.
Yeah.
Let's start this.
There is only one challenge though, Vijay,
Yes.
and that is to fit everything inside that 1 hour time frame.
Yeah.
But we will do our best.
Yes.
So I just want somebody here to tell me what relationship means to them, or what do you get when you even think of the word relationship. What does it mean to you? What is it you think?
Hi,
Puneet, are you there?
hi, Bhagyama. This is
Yeah,
Rahul.
hi Rahul. Yes, Rahul.
Relationship. If you ask us, for me, it would be something that is surrounded by trust and security. Anything that's surrounded by trust and security.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, Rahul.
Welcome.
I'll make note of what people are saying. Trust and security, he said. Anybody else?
Hello.
Yes, Rupsi.
Hi. So for
Hi.
me, relationship is more about having a partner who's supportive and there by your side in everything and all of the decisions that you take and is there to make you better.
Is there to make you better. Anybody else? Sometimes they say a relationship is.
Can I speak?
Of course, you can speak, Sujit.
Okay. For me, relationship is more like commitment, where you respect the person who's there, and but you be what you are rather than changing yourself and manipulating yourself. This is what I have understood till now.
Great. Thank you so much.
Mom, I think relationships are mutual enrichment, like something that adds to both the participants' lives.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody else? Hi, Satish. I can't hear you. I'm muted.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. How are you?
The others, please mute yourself. Otherwise, there'll be a lot of disturbance in the recording. Yes, Satish. Well, I was just asking them, what does relationship mean to you?
Love.
You can think about it. You can take your time. No problem. Okay.
Yeah.
Would you like to say something?
Yeah. Relationships means love. Love.
Okay. Okay. So, where does relationship actually begin? When we talk about relationship, sometimes people say relationship is distance between two things and two people. In relation to this is here. But we're talking about something different here. So all of what you people have said is like very interesting. But my question to you here is, where does a healthy relationship begin? Where does it start? Where does it all start?
When we are understanding in full awareness and accepting. Understanding, awareness, accepting. Those three are from me.
How many of you have seen a house a multi-storied house built without the foundation. Has anyone seen such a house? Such a house does not exist, right? In order to build a house, you need to put the foundation in first. In order to put the foundation deep, you have to dig a lot of mud and whatever else is there to make room for those pillars to go down, right? So, what if a relationship actually begins with our relationship to ourselves? The kind of relationship to ourselves that we have is an invitation for all kinds of other relationships to turn out to be magical and miraculous also. So, how many of us can say, I have an incredible relationship with myself? Anybody? When it comes to relationship with myself, my relationship with myself, I can give myself a 10 on 10. Anybody? This is where we have to begin. This is where it all begins. When our relationship with ourselves is very healthy, we have a great deal of respect for ourselves. We trust ourselves implicitly. We don't feel insecure. We are very secure with who we are. We have a lot of gratitude for ourselves. And we have no judgment of ourselves. No matter what happens, we don't judge. And even if once in a while we judge, we don't judge ourselves for judging ourselves. And the willingness to be ourselves in a world that is always asking us to be something else requires what? Tremendous courage, tremendous strength, and yes, a tremendous level of commitment to ourselves. Okay, so if you have a paper and pencil with you, great. If you don't, use your phone, because we do most of our work on the phone nowadays anyway. If you have a bottle of water with you, great. If not, please bring one. I will wait, because this is going to clear a lot of stuff for all of us, and you need to drink some water. So, should I wait a little bit more? Okay. So my first question, the one that I had asked was, what is your relationship with yourself like? On a scale of 0 to 10, what would you rate yourself when it comes to a phenomenal relationship with self? What would you give yourself as a number? If it is anything less than a 10 on 10, it means that there is some work that needs to be done. So who got a 10 on 10? Anybody? Anybody close to a 10? Rahul, how much did you get?
9.5.
Okay. What is that half? Like a hathi nikal gaya, like a dum reh gaya jaise. What is that half?
So there are many things which I think I am not fully aware of. So there's a lack of consciousness still, which sometimes leads me to behave in a way which is probably not under my control, which I realize later on. So wo hai hathi ka dum.
Okay.
I'm
So
working on it.
good. Very good. So what does it mean to not be in control of oneself? When are we not in control of ourselves?
Lack of
Like
clarity.
you're driving your car. Can you say what to do? For a moment, I lost control. No big deal. Or are you fully present?
Distraction.
Yes. How many get distracted while driving?
I get at times.
Can
Not
you?
always.
Can you afford to be?
Never.
So now this is where we do a small clearing. Everywhere that we have chosen to not be present with what we are doing, would you be willing to destroy and uncreate it, please? Because
Yes.
when you're driving, that's the best example. You need to look in front, you need to look at the back, you need to look at the sides, you need to know where what is, so that you don't press the accelerator when you need to press the brake. That has happened a few times with people who are learning, of course. But when you are not present with yourself, where you are, in those unconscious moments, we have problems, we come up with issues, and we say things that later we felt like maybe I should not have said like that. Maybe that was not the right thing to say. If we were present and very conscious, would we then say those things and regret it later? No. So, one of the key elements to a good relationship is to be present wherever you are with whomsoever you happen to be. How many times when somebody is talking are people multitasking? Yes. What did I say? So would you be, in the interest of relationships, healing, getting better, be willing to be present wherever you are? That requires a certain level of presence with yourself. My question is, are you present with yourself? How many would say, yeah, always? How many would say?
Learning to.
Okay. Why would you keep pushing it? You're also there. This is talking to a participant who refuses to be visible. Okay, so what do I mean by being present with oneself? How do you be present with yourself? What is the advantage? What is the value of being present with oneself?
Undivided
Vijay,
attention.
I don't think it's going to get over in 1 hour, Vijay.
Undivided attention.
Yes. What exactly does that mean?
That means
Yes, no, I could not hear.
Observation of oneself.
Okay.
Being in the moment is what I feel is being present.
Yes. Wherever you are, there you be. Now, even when I'm sitting, am I aware of how I'm sitting? Am I tapping into everyone's universes? am I getting what you're not telling me? How is that possible when you're present? Okay? When you're fully present, you don't miss out on anything. What exactly do I mean by that? You hear, you listen to what somebody is saying, and you get what somebody is not saying, but wishes to, or it's in the head. One of the reasons why there are relationship problems is because think one thing, say something else, we feel something else. Okay? When there is harmony, where you're thinking, feeling, expressing the same thing, that brings about a level of balance which is very difficult for people to mess with. The willingness to be that present with others will come when you are that present with yourself. When do we pay more attention? Now, suppose somebody handed you a wad of notes, nice big pile. You are counting. It's written that there are 100 such notes here. How do you count? With full presence or not? Your relationship to money. Okay? When we're talking about money and you're counting, you just got it from the bank and you're counting. How are you? Present, not present?
Completely focused.
Yes. And why is that so?
We consider that to be so important.
Yes. Yes.
Because it has a lot of value to it.
Yes, of course.
And if we miss out even on one, then we are, we are not gaining from it, then we are losing that.
We will lose something.
Yes.
And who wants to lose money? Nobody does.
Fine.
So I remember once giving an assignment to somebody and they said, like, no, what to do? I just did not have the time to do it, Ma. And I said, okay, if I had said that if you do the assignment every day, for every day's assignment, you get 1,000 rupees. Would you then do it? We lit up like a Christmas tree. Of course we would. Because that is of value to us. That is important. When somebody is talking to you, when somebody is sharing something with you, when somebody values you enough to want to share something with you, why is that not value? So one of the most important facets of a good relationship is where there is listening. We all want to be heard, but how many are willing to listen? So everywhere we compromise on the listening, and therefore we don't know what somebody has said. Shall we let it go now? Okay? Okay. The next thing. How much do you respect yourself? Honor yourself. Have a very high regard for yourself. Most people are brought up with that. No, that is not good. That is being egotistical. Other people should respect you. How many would agree with me that our own self-respect. I've not even finished my question, Puneet. She knows. Thank you, dearest. What was I going to say? Do you know? Puneet?
Ma, how many of us actually think that, you know, giving ourselves all that respect, all that appreciation is healthy? Because the last sentence you said was that we are taught that no, that's like being, that's not being humble.
Yes.
How can you have such high regard of yourself? How can you have
Who do you think you are?
Yes,
अपने
yes.
आप को क्या समझते हो तुम?
This is, I think,
So-
one of the things that gets in the way of, relationship with the self, old habit.
Yeah. Those who have been with me for some time, and thank you for being here as well, I always tell them, you show a red cloth in front of the mirror, you're going to get to see a red cloth reflected back. So where it comes to creating healthy relationships, where it comes to creating meaningful relationships, the most amount of work we have to do is work on ourselves. And that work never really stops. It is something that happens on a day-to-day basis, moment-to-moment basis. Because everything in our lives depends on that. The most critically important point when it comes to relationships is what kind of relationship do I have with myself? Is it a relationship that is nurtured? Is it a relationship that I am grateful for? Is it a healthy relationship? Or do I judge myself, criticize myself, put myself down all the time? Because whatever it is that you judge, because you're putting your attention and your energy on it, it's going to increase. And when you judge yourself, you invite others to do what? Judge you too. Okay? So when you are grateful for yourself, when you are in allowance of yourself, when you value yourself, no matter who says what to you, is it going to affect you? No. The willingness to recognize that this is where everything begins. And in order to attract good relationships, you have to be a magnet for that, which means that you have to be that yourself. If you do not trust other people, how can you expect them to trust you? If you have little or no respect for other people's feelings, how do you expect them to have any consideration for yours? Everything that you desire others to do to you, you have to do to others also. So what I would not want somebody to say to me, I would not say it to somebody else. It's as simple as that. Now, my question to you, it's $1 million question, so you can take your time and think about it. Why is it that we have issues with relationships in our lives?
Because we have issues with ourselves.
And why do we have issues with ourselves?
We don't accept ourselves unconditionally.
Great, Sutish, thank you. We don't accept ourselves unconditionally.
We don't trust ourselves.
Yes, we don't trust ourselves. And why do we not accept ourselves unconditionally? And why do we not trust ourselves?
Ma, that's because from the childhood only you are not, you are conditioned that way. And when everything hits you in the face, that is when we start scrambling for answers and we start questioning them. And when we start questioning, that's when we realize that what the whole jing bang is all about. And then the whole process begins from point one.
Where does it all start?
We expect more in return than what we give.
We expect more. You plant one seed and you want hundreds of mangoes, something like that. Where does it all begin? It begins when we are infants. कुछ चाहिए, जोर से रो. You cry so loudly that people, oh, you want this? Okay, take. You're hungry, cry, you get this. You want something, cry, you'll get this. So people think, that's a good thing to do. When I scream and I cry, I used to get things. That's the reference point here. So why is it not working now? Because that was then and this is now. That was infancy and this is adulthood. So if somebody cries at the drop of a hat, you call somebody's name and they start crying, then would you like that? No. But we do that from habit. We think if we express our anger, like, you know how children, they throw things around if they get angry. Does it work? It does not work. Okay, so now let's look at it from another angle. Why do we not love ourselves unconditionally? Because we were taught to not to do that. We were told, that you have to love other people. Other people have to love you. You have to give to other people. You should not ask. Has that worked well for us? In a relationship, whether it's an intimate relationship, a platonic relationship, or friendly relationship, or acquaintance, or whatever it is. I'm talking now generally about any and all kinds of relationships because we do not have time to take it separately. How many expectations do we go into a relationship with? A lot?
Lots.
Lots. And then the other person, whether it's a new friend or whoever it is, what about them? They have maybe as many or even more.
Multiple.
Yes. So what happens here, it's very interesting how this works out. So there are now two people, loads and loads of expectations of each other. And then one person thinks, okay, never mind. I will let him have it. Or never mind. I want her to be happy. So I will say, okay. Do you see where I'm going? That sets the pattern for how that relationship is going to unfold. So I actually didn't like what you said, but I'll say, oh yeah, great, very nice. You are so amazing. The person says, oh, I found my soulmate. This person, this person really understands me. Why? Because she's saying yes to everything I say. She must be good for me. Or, oh my God, this person is such a wonderful person. Nobody ever said as many yeses to me as this person. Great, we are going to, like, I finally found my soulmate. How long does that last? Initially, it does. Initially, it does. After some time, it looks a little ragged and ready to fall apart. Now, why am I talking about this? Because from the beginning, you were not who you are. Pretending to be who you are not is what you have to pay the most price for. What do I mean by that? Okay, so this person is like, goes off like a rocket, okay? Without even a match striking, goes off like a rocket. But pretends to be very cool, calm, and collected. All three C's are there: cool, calm, and collected. And then they say, okay, so nice to have a friend like this. Oh my God, I never came across anybody like this. And then something happens, and then you have to sit very tight on your anger. Why? Because you can't afford to let it out. Why? Because this person believes you to be a saint, believes that you never get angry. You are cool, calm, and collected. So you have to maintain that image. So you push it down somewhere. Something else shows up. There's like a volcano inside, but outside it's all cool, calm, and collected. Then finally, even a volcano has to let it all out, right? And when it does, and you let out your anger, that person says, who the dickens are you? Where did you come from? पहले तो आप ऐसे नहीं थे. So when we are in a relationship, it is extremely important that we be who we are. That level of transparency that we have tells you exactly who I am. I'm not pretending to be something here. Once the TV thing is out, then I'm like somebody else. It's not like that. The willingness to be yourself all the time is important. Why? Otherwise, the other person is being misled into thinking that you are something else. Is that a kindness to you? Is that a kindness to the other person? So everywhere that we have pretended to be something that we are not, shall we destroy and uncreate it, please? And everywhere we have chosen to not be who we truly are, shall we let that go as well? Okay. Anybody feeling a little better? Small bit, itsy bitsy bit. Anybody not feeling any better at all? Anybody like that? No. Jayanti, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, Bhagya sister.
Have you any questions?
No questions. I'm just
Okay.
letting it sink in.
Okay, ma.
Wonderful knowledge. Thank you so much.
This is one of my favorite people on the planet. An incredible, amazing person. An incredible teacher. We used to work together about a dozen or so years ago. So now, what is it that we need to make course corrections with? So childhood, crying, screaming, demanding, getting, all that is like water under the bridge. What can we do today to change our relationship? Because that is what I would like to leave you with. It's not like theory. I want pragmatic, practical ways of making changes. So what is the first thing we decided was very important? Who remembers? Yes, Seema?
We need to be very present with ourselves.
Yes. Be present with yourself. Be present with whoever you are with. It doesn't matter who they are. How many people make eye contact with the person they are talking to. It's very important that you do that, because when you make eye contact with the person and you're talking, you are fully present with them. What is the second thing that we decided was very important?
What kind of relationship we want to have with ourselves.
Yes. So in order for us to have respect from outside, what must we first be and do?
Respect ourselves.
Respect yourself. So how many said my respect for myself is 10 on 10? Anybody 10? Very nice. Anybody struggling with that? I need to do some work here. That's what I'm asking you. Can you tell me how much it is, dearest? Amita?
It's probably 5 or 6.
Okay. What would make it a 10? What would have to change for it to be a 10? What would have to happen? What would have to change?
I need to take care of myself.
Okay. So everywhere that you and we, all of us, have not taken care of ourselves, shall we make this our choice right now, dearest?
Yes,
You
yes,
have to, this you can write it down. You have to be willing to take care of yourself as if you are the most precious thing in your life. We saw how we count money. Why? Because that's very precious and important to us. You are even more precious than that. So everywhere, for whatever reason that we have chosen to not respect ourselves, shall we destroy and uncreate it, please?
yes.
And Amita, I
Yes.
am extremely grateful to you for your willingness to be vulnerable here. It's important that when you speak, we clear for everybody. And while I do respect myself for 10 on 10, I will always, you will always find me saying we. I will never say you people, you people. It's always we. Yes.
I couldn't hear what you just said. It
I
was
said a
very
lot of things.
It was no, just now what you said was very muffled.
No, I was just appreciating you. I was
Okay.
appreciating you for choosing to be vulnerable. And when you did that, it helped the entire group of people. So thank you. So now tell me, how much is your respect for yourself?
There is definitely more now.
How much more?
An 8.
Okay. What would make it a 10? You have to be willing to let go of something that most people do.
I think the judgments about myself.
Yes. 100% correct.
Yes.
So everywhere that we have judged ourselves, shall we destroy and uncreate it, please?
Yes, please.
So all the judgments from this lifetime or any other lifetime across time, space, realities, and all dimensions, shall we let it go now, please?
Yes, please.
And
Yes.
any resistance to letting it go, shall we let go of that as well?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Okay. Anybody feeling better? A little bit. Okay. So I've cleared it all. Now your responsibility is to not go back. We're going to move forward only. So any and all instances any and all memories, any and all situations, circumstances in which you found yourself, where you did not have a great deal of respect for yourself, for whatever choice you made. Would you be willing to let it all go now, please? Because we are wiping the slate clean now. Okay? You are not going into tomorrow with today's thoughts, yesterday's thoughts, day before yesterday's thoughts. Because if you go into tomorrow, if you go into the future with the same thought patterns that you had the previous day and the previous days and the previous years, can you create anything new, anything different, anything more worthwhile? So all the stuck energies from the past that seem to be holding you back, would you be willing to let it all go now, please? And everywhere that you have decided to shrink and make yourself small, would you be willing to let it go? Why is it important that you let it go? Because if you are this big, life can give you back only this much. How big a container are you willing to be to enjoy the abundance of the universe? The universe has no problems giving to you. But if you go with a glass, you'll get only a glass full. Go with a jug, you'll get a jug full. You go with a mug, you'll get a mug full. Go with a bucket, you'll get a bucket full. You go with a drum, you'll get a drum full. You have to be as big as the universe to receive what the universe would like to gift to you. And if that is how it is, then can you play small? Can you make yourself insignificant? No. So everywhere you have chosen to be invisible, to make yourself small in the name of humility or whatever it is that you were taught. Shall we let it all go now, please? When you recognize, when you realize, when you acknowledge that you cannot be duplicated, that there is nobody in the entire universe who is like you. You're a limited edition, just one of kind. Can you then not have a high regard for yourself? So I'm not doing this to butter you up because you came on this call. I am just trying to reintroduce you to yourself so that you begin to see who you are and what your value is. Because the value you put on yourself will be duplicated in all relationships that you have. If you are willing to put yourself like a doormat near the door, people will wipe their dirty feet on you. Where you place yourself in your life matters. No matter how beautiful the doormat is, how expensive it is, how beautifully the word welcome is written on it. Nobody says, oh my God, this is Saraswati, I should not step on it. They will wipe their feet on it and go. Why? Because it has placed itself there. I mean, in all fairness, a doormat doesn't have a choice. It doesn't decide where it wants to be. It's a doormat, so it's near the door. But when you go to attend a wedding or something, and near the entrance, you see that floral welcome up there. How many people go up to wipe their feet there? They look up, wow, that is so beautiful. So where you choose to place yourself in your life matters. When you begin to make yourself small and you shrink, you will create similar relationships where other people will also put you down, show not much respect. Why? Because respect cannot be demanded. You know, men cannot go and tell their wives, like, I'm your husband, so you had better respect me. It doesn't work that way. We cannot go and tell our children, I'm your mother, okay? You need to respect me. Respect has to be commanded. Do you carry yourself in a way that commands that respect, that makes people want to respect? And that comes from inside. Okay? So when you give that kind of a respect to yourself, you give that kind of a respect to the people you come across, you're not looking at whether this person, let me check whether this guy deserves my respect. You respect people because of who you are. Even though you are aware of who that somebody else is, that's their choice. So a respect that we have for ourselves, the love that we have for ourselves, the trust that we have in ourselves, the gratitude that we have for who we are, the willingness to go beyond judgment in a space of allowance where no matter what shows up, we look at it, okay, so this has occurred, okay, this needs change, so what else is possible here? Instead of flogging yourself. So these are some of the basics that we have to follow in order to have a healthy relationship with ourselves and with everybody else. Because every relationship to a greater or lesser degree will mirror the relationship you have with yourself. Does it make sense? Is there anybody who has a yes but to ask me quickly before we? Has it been a contribution? Has it in any way helped create some change here, please?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for this.
Any questions?
No, ma'am.
Anybody? Ruchika?
I have one question, ma.
Yes. 1 minute, I get back to Ruchika. Yes, Sujit.
What is happening is when I have been doing practices, meditation and stuff. Now at times people they look at me, and this is what is kind of becoming a little issue in my relationships, that they feel that they say you'll just leave the house and you don't care about us. And in my slightest of dream I have not thought of it, but a lot of people have started saying that care about us, but I don't do.
Sujit, I'm not able to hear you properly. Sujit, can you?
And
A lot of people, something or the other.
that's one thing which has been bothering me. Now ma,
Now it's
so a
slightly
lot
better.
of people they say, okay, when I get up in the morning I do my meditations and I keep on asking questions. What is happening is a lot of people say, you to look like a sannyasi, you'll leave the house and go, which is kind of creating an issue in my relationship, because a lot of people thinking you'll just you will walk out. And I've never thought of it. And it keeps on coming back in a week or so, that you'll walk out, or you don't care about us. but it is not like that. And then it creates a light of kind of वो थोड़ा झगड़ा हो जाता है फिर और बात बिगड़ जाती है वहां से.
So can I ask you a question?
Yes.
What about you looks like a sannyasi, for God's sake?
I don't know.
Okay, so can I ask you another question, please?
Yes.
Do you give gyan to people without them asking you?
Yes.
That you do not open your mouth to give advice to anyone unless they ask you specifically.
Okay. Helps.
Because, like Gary says, Gary Douglas is Jayanti, the founder of Access Consciousness. He says, if you give to people what they are not capable of receiving, it will come back to you with daggers attached. तो पीठ पूरा छलनी हुआ कि नहीं अभी?
हो गया
बंद करो. You know, in spite of my age, so-called, in spite of my gray hair, which is real, I will not open my mouth unless somebody asks me specifically. Or they are close enough for me to know that if I say something, that they might receive it in a way that it is being given. So when you seem to have solutions for everybody's problem, you become a problem for them because they're not able to relate to you. So everything that brings up for you and for everybody else, shall we destroy and uncreate it, please, Sujit? है कि चले गया?
Yes.
He's there. Yeah. So would you be willing to be the energy of contribution without contributing to people who have not asked for a contribution? Yes. Say yes. Okay. Yes, Ruchika.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, sir.
Yes.
I have a question.
Who has a question? Yeah, I have a call starting at 9 o'clock. So
Sure.
be quick. Yes.
Okay. So my question is, you mentioned about clearing all those things that have happened in past and then
Yes.
starting everything afresh going forward.
Yes.
Now, what do we do to fix things of past, or do we let it go?
Can you fix anything? Then why hold on to it? You have to be the change physically, mentally, emotionally, psychologically, energetically, spiritually, and anything else that I have not said. You have to be that consistent change that the other person will also realize that you are not who you used to be. If you have the guts, you can, sometime when there is a conversation, you can say, you know, when I think back on that, I really feel I owe you an apology. Will you allow me to apologize for that? I'm really sorry if I hurt your feelings. I realize now that it must have hurt. I'm sorry about that. About that only, not for, you know, like a blanket, I'm forever at your feet, not like that. You have to say it with a level of dignity and authenticity. नाम के वास्ते बोल रहा ऐसा नहीं है. You're saying it. It comes from your heart. I promise you, people, when you speak from your heart, people will listen to you because they know it is true. What you're saying is authentic. So you cannot go back and clear that, but when you in the present change, then your future will change correspondingly also. If we marinate in the past, we get pickled. We are not pickled. Okay, so yes, whatever happened was then, what can we do now?
What if they are not willing to listen? even if when we are speaking from our heart, they're not open to it. They don't want to listen to what we're saying. They're not ready to accept it.
Okay.
So
Now
that is
suppose
their
there is a cat.
closeness.
No, one second, Amita. There is a cat that is running on the road. And nobody is looking at the cat. It's a small cat. Now there is another cat, 2 meters long, that is walking on the road. You mean to say people are not going to pay attention to that? शेर है शेर 2 मीटर लंबा नाक से दुम तक. You have to be that presence, that energy, that space and consciousness that when you speak, they will listen.
Yeah, got it. Thank you,
You're
ma'am.
welcome. You're welcome. Yes, Richard.
I have a small question.
Yes.
How does one be the energy of receiving? Because most of the time our own receiving is cut. That is why the relationship with our own self is something we are not able to be in concurrence with.
Yes.
So how does one be in the energy of receiving?
Yes, by not rejecting yourself for any reason. When you do not reject, you receive. Or at least you're open to receive.
Satish
And
has
there
a
is
question. Sorry.
Who has a question?
Yeah, me.
1 second. I've not finished with Richard. So when you stop judging yourself and when you stop rejecting yourself, then you are more open to receiving. Now, right now, wherever you are sitting, okay, Ruchika, some tree somewhere, some plant is giving you oxygen. Do you know which one? Which tree is contributing to you?
No.
But you are receiving it, are you not?
Yes.
And there is some tree, some plant somewhere that is also receiving from you.
Yes.
That is the ease with which we can receive. When there are no judgments, no bitterness, no unforgiveness, then, yes, Nayana, then receiving will become easier. Okay, so this is the clearing for you, dearest.
Okay.
What energy, space, and consciousness can my body and I be to be the energy of infinite receiving now and in the future? And everything that doesn't allow that, you just run and create it. Okay?
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Yes, Satish.
Yeah. So sometimes when people undermine me or disregard me, then how do I still?
Can you speak loudly, Satish? We can't hear you.
Can you just send the group?
So when somebody disregards or undermines me, how do I still receive it, please? If somebody is disregarding me.
No, I heard what you said. Why do they disregard you? Why do they undermine you? Okay, can I ask you a question, please?
Sure.
Are you a very demanding person?
Sometimes I'm demanding on myself, so I think I exhibit the same thing to others.
Sometimes when we make demands on people, okay, then what happens is they realize that there is no end to this person's demands. You give them 1, they'll ask for 2. You give them 2, they ask for 4. If you ask for 4, they want 8. So then they feel like, no, I can't do this anymore. So everywhere that you have been demanding, over demanding on yourself, would you be willing to let it go now, please?
Yes.
Anything that does not allow you to let it go because you believe that you're right in making that demand, would you be willing to let that go as well?
Yes. Yes.
And what energy, what space and consciousness can you now choose to be? To be very aware of what you're asking someone. Check. Can I ask this person for this? Would it be okay for me to ask this now? And if you get a yes, ask, otherwise then don't. Okay, Ma?
Okay.
Does it help?
Yeah. Very much.
And what would it be like to be that energy of ease that even when you don't make a demand, people are willing to do it for you? How cool would that be? What energy of invitation can I now choose to be that even when I don't open my mouth and ask, people are willing to give me? Not just what I ask, but much, much more.
Yeah.
Smile. You have to smile, Satish. Yes. That is an invitation for people. Could you do this for me, please?
Yeah.
I would be really grateful to you, is one way of asking. Make sure that this is done before I come. It's another way. One is a request, the other is a demand. One works, the other doesn't. Simple as that. Okay, ma?
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else? Quickly. Puneet, I have a call at 9 o'clock. It's past 9. Quickly. Tell.
Hello, Ma.
Hi.
I'll word it quickly.
I was about to say bye. She's telling hello to me now. What to do with this?
No, Ma. I'm more and more aware of what's all going on.
Yes.
But when I get up, I notice that there are thoughts about the failure of past relationships. In the day, if it happens, I use that mode. So I'm like, maybe somewhere it's like I'm using all the tools. Okay, whatever I'm not aware of, I'm willing to let go and all that I'm doing. So, but this kind of makes me think that probably there's something
Is
more
it
to
yours?
No.
Then why bother? When those come in your head as soon as you wake up, you ask, truth, who the dickens does this belong to? And then you'll know it's not yours. Use who does it belong to more. Ma? You're just aware of what's going on around you.
But it
When you
fits in
choose to function
beautifully.
from, when you choose to function from consciousness, you will be aware of everything. The good, the bad, the ugly. And you have to be willing to see which is yours and which is not yours. Okay? Okay. Thank you so much, Vijay, for this opportunity to connect with so many wonderful people. I haven't
Thank
finished.
you.
As soon as the call is over, you have to go find the nearest mirror. You have to stand in front of it and you have to look into your eyes. And how? As if I'm looking at you. And I promise you, you will see a miracle. Okay? And if you are being a miracle, guess what you will create? Miracles, of course. So may miracles abound in your own universe now and in the future, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ma. Thank you.
Jayanti, thank you so much for
Vijay.
being with me. I am so happy.
Thank you.
Meeting her after many decades. No, not many decades, many years. Thank you.
Thank you